What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Quick Bay Entertainment. I am sorry if I look like I'm mourning, because I am. As you can tell by the video title and thumbnail, Khalil Mack has been traded by the Oakland Raiders. And it's really hard to understand this trade as a Raider fan. Don't really get it. They got 2 first-round picks. That's all we know for now. The full details of this trade haven't been released, but he's headed to Chicago. It's crazy, man, because I can't believe they actually traded their best player. We're talking about a guy that never missed a game, doesn't have an injury history, double-digit sacks every single season, defensive player of the year, the leader of the clubhouse, and he's traded away because the Raiders didn't want to take care of their own and give this dude the money that he absolutely 100% deserved. You know, the Raiders put him in that position to play for a shitty defense and this shitty defensive coordinator for so long. Finally, they get a competent defensive coordinator, Paul Gunther, and then they trade him. So we'll never get to see it. And, you know, it's crazy because they have no problem giving Jon Gruden a 10-year deal, but they have a major problem re-signing or giving the contract extension to their best freaking player. Now, what does this mean for Khalil Mack? Look, I'm happy for him. He gets to go to Chicago. He's going to dominate Chicago. That Chicago defense is going to be pretty good for a long time. I know Aaron Rodgers is just like, what the hell? But for the Raiders, I don't get it. You know, they get 2 first-round draft picks, and to me, it doesn't mean shit because this team can't draft. I mean, come on, Carl Joseph, not even starting. Gary and Conley, we don't know what he is. The Raiders' best first-round draft pick has been Charles Woodson and Khalil Mack, and there's a huge gap in between that. Amari Cooper has been nice. He did decrease last year, but it's like, do I really trust the Raiders to make really smart draft picks? I honestly don't. And do I really think whatever they draft or whoever they draft with those 2 picks are going to be as good as Khalil freaking Mack? Look, Khalil Mack has been my all-time, not all-time, but one of my all-time favorite player right now playing. He was the guy. I loved him. He was a beast. He was literally a beast. He was like the Brock Lesnar of football. He was a monster. He was neck and neck with Von Miller as one of the best defensive players in football. He was an absolute stud. But he was more than just that on the field. Off the field, he was a leader. You know, we like to make like this thing where Derek Carr is the leader of the Raiders. He honestly never was. It was all Khalil Mack by any means. This dude was hyping up this team every single game. He was getting them ready, preparing them, you know. He was the dude. And, you know, I don't want to hear Jon Gruden talk about getting players that are good enough to play for the team or have really good abilities, because every time I hear Gruden say that, I'm just going to remind him that they traded the best player to the Chicago Bears for draft picks and cap space. I saw this tweet that the Raiders can now sign Navarro Bowman. Oh, wow. Yeah, cool. We can sign Navarro Bowman because we gave away Khalil Mack because we didn't want to give him a contract extension. You know, I'm very envious of what the Rams have been doing, you know. They reloaded. After making the playoffs, they weren't happy with that. They reloaded, got even better. They re-signed their own. They gave a contract extension to their best defensive player with no hesitation, no problem. Locked them up to a long-term deal. That's a team that's getting the job done, that wants to compete for a Super Bowl. Look at what the Raiders did after they made the playoffs. Right after they made the playoffs and lost to the Texans, they made 0 defensive free agent signings. 0. Yeah, they started Marshawn Lynch and Jared Cook, but they did nothing on the defensive end. And this year, they signed everybody that was like over the age of 30 years old. Like this Jon Gruden era, the return of Chucky is starting to look worse and worse as time goes on, dude. Like, I can't hate him. He absolutely scammed the Raiders. To get a 10-year deal, can't hate the player, man. Gotta hate the game. A 10-year deal. We should have just left the boy up in the ESPN booth. I am absolutely heartbroken by that. It's absolutely frustrating. I don't know if I'm even a Raider fan right now, man, because I am just devastated. I've absolutely hated the moves they made. You know, we were set up to have 2 cornerstone pieces on offense and defense in Carr and Khalil Mack, and now we just traded Mack to the Chicago freaking Bears. And sure, yeah, it's not in the division, it's not in the AFC, but still, man, it's just so infuriating to see that we had one of the best defensive players in football, and we gave him up just because Jon Gruden rather have cap space and draft picks than Khalil freaking Mack. I mean, this dude's a monster. He is a beast. I had the honor of meeting him in 2014 when the Raiders came down here to train with the Cowboys on training camp. Awesome dude. Signed my hat. One of the best guys I ever met. I have his jersey. Khalil Mack is my favorite player, and he still is my favorite player. There's nobody on that Raider team that I enjoy other than Marshawn. Marshawn's always been one of my favorites. But just giving away Khalil Mack for draft picks. It's infuriating, my dude. It's infuriating. Like, I feel like I've been through so much as a Raider fan, and I'm only 25, and I've been through so much already as a fan. The Jamarcus Russell pick, the Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, the freaking everything, dude. Just drafting bust after bust after bust. Lately, we've been drafting bust as well. Like I said, Carl Joseph isn't starting. Gary and Conway, who knows? Didn't play last year. Obi got cut. He was literally the second round pick last year. Mario Edwards was another second round pick. Might get cut. Like, I'm supposed to believe that all of a sudden the Raiders are going to make good draft selections. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. And I don't think anybody that they're going to draft is going to be anywhere close to being as good as Khalil Mack. Again, a guy who's never missed a game, who doesn't have any injury history, who doesn't have any problems off the field, an absolute stud, an absolute leader, double digits sacks every single year, defensive player of the year. The Raiders just traded that player. When they should be trading for guys like this, they traded that player for draft picks and cash and cap space. But they had no problem giving 10-year deals to John Gruden. You know, and then Gruden talks about how he wants to win now and he wants to win and be a competitive team. You trade your best player. This to me sounds like a tank move. Sounds like the Raiders are going to be in the top 10 draft again, like every other year. You know, it looks like we're back to being the same old Raiders as before, with Chucky or without Chucky. At this point, we should have just kept Jack Del Rio and just brought in Paul Gunther by ourselves. It's infuriating, man. I don't get it. It's absolutely heartbreaking. As a Raider fan, a diehard Raider fan, it's hard to rep this team today because I feel absolutely embarrassed for how we handle this Khalil Mack situation. I see what the Rams do. What the Rams do, it's a smart way to build a team and build a contending team and pay your own, the guys you drafted, the guys you want to keep in your organization. You pay them what they deserve. Aaron Donald is a beast. He got the money he deserved. Khalil Mack is just as big as a beast. I've already said all his accomplishments. He should have got paid what he deserved. So instead of the Raiders having a defensive keystone and an offensive keystone, now we're just left with Derek Carr. And now Derek Carr gets paid all this money. And look, I love Carr. I think Carr's a really good guy. But has Carr been reliable? I mean, it's been 2 seasons. Broken back, messed up leg. Offensive line looks like shit now, even though the offensive line was supposed to be one of the biggest things for the Raiders moving forward. Trading Khalil Mack, I think, is going to come back and bite the Raiders in the ass in the long term. Khalil Mack is going to be a Hall of Fame player. And we're going to look back at those years that we had him and we let him go. And we're going to look at his prime years in Chicago and we're going to think about what if. And we're still going to probably be paying John Gruden by that time. We're still probably going to be paying the dude when Khalil Mack is in his prime. And the Chicago defense that's going to be absolutely dominant. It's infuriating. But I would love to know your guys' opinion. What do you think about Khalil Mack getting traded by the Raiders? Let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to debate. I'd love to tell you somebody else's side, somebody that actually agrees with this trade. Let me know down below. We can have a good talk. It's just, it's absolutely, like, just absolutely infuriating, my boys. I don't get it. I don't believe in it. I think we should have kept them. I am absolutely angered, disgusted, and annoyed. As for Khalil, dude, I love you, my boy. You were one of my all-time favorites. You're still my all-time favorite. I have your jersey. Thank you for signing my hat all those years ago. Good luck in Chi-Town. You deserve to play for a competent front office, not the mess that the Raiders have right now. I was going to love seeing you in Vegas, but, you know, apparently John Gruden doesn't see the way we see things. The dude's still stuck in late 90s, early 2000s football, and let's see where that takes the Raiders, because honestly, I've been saying this since the beginning. I think this is going to be a very long season for Raider Nation. But anyways, guys, if you like this video, slap the thumb, subscribe, and join the Clickbait Click for daily uploads. Links all that down below in the description. Let me know down in the comments section what do you think about Khalil Mack getting traded from the Raiders. I'll see you guys later on. Too sweet.